In this live coding session, I'm afraid I learned that the free level of AI is not as fast and not as good as what I'm using at work. So that's the main takeaway. But come on board for some test-driven development with a new SwiftUI feature. Welcome back from my 2-week hiatus. Sure was a nice time off, but I'm glad to be back here in the studio and ready to roll. Welcome, Mudshark, M. Calms. Good to have you both. And other folks will join, hopefully, as we continue. If not, and Eric is here. Okay, we can really start. All right, so I'll tell you just a little bit about my vacation. The highlight, this is in Hawaii. If you get a chance to go nighttime snorkeling or diving with manta rays, do it. If you are scuba certified, definitely prefer the diving. It looks like a better experience than what we had, but what we had on the surface was mind-blowing. So many rays, so in my face. It was a little terrifying to be bumped by wild animals. It was awesome. Welcome. This is Test-Driven Development with SwiftUI. And for folks who are watching after the fact and don't know maybe who I am, hey, I'm John. I'm a technical coach. And oh, I wrote that, and find me here. Let's get going. I'm trying to remember where we are and what we're doing. To give a little bit of, since I had 2 weeks off, I wanted to step back and maybe do a little bit of context. Big context is, this is what I set out as my original goals, that we were going to do test-driven development with SwiftUI, using discovery trees, yes. Arlo's commit notation, yes. Story slicing, a whole lot. Evolutionary design, a whole lot. Other things, not as solid, except for the refactoring thing. I haven't really done TDD as if you meant it. We aren't really seeing a whole lot of micro objects that I would like. Haven't done nullables because we haven't needed mocking any sort of test doubles. Little bit of setup and teardown avoidance, but not entirely. The helpers, definitely the make SUT as a pattern seems to be very helpful. But the big takeaway so far, and this is only in the last few sessions, is what to do with refactoring. And, oh, mention. Okay, at that point, everyone drinks. The big discovery is that generative AI agents can really be helpful for refactoring. Because Xcode is so limited in its support for refactoring, well, as long as you build up a nice suite of tests that you trust, that's the big part, it can just sort of do its thing and run them, and that's wonderful. Okay, before we get to the actual discovery tree, let's review last time's retro, just to... So yeah, AI augmented refactoring can be faster than multiple deterministic moves. That said, I did an experiment at work where I wanted to really avoid using Xcode. Like, I went through an entire workday using agentic stuff. And it worked. And I'm glad I did it. But now I feel myself swinging back a little bit to find a balance. And the balance I'm finding is that some things are just faster if I do them. I think it's a question of how small they are. If they're small things that I know how to do, and I can just boom, 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 do them, it seems to be a little bit faster. If there are bigger steps, and in particular refactorings that that Xcode doesn't know, localized. That's a good way to put it. If there are things that Xcode really can't help with, that's when it's good to lean in more towards the AI augmented or the Genie supported use. We have been using Cursor here in this stream. At work, I started using Windsurf and discovered that I liked it better. Kent Beck put out a good summary. I guess it's a blog post, essentially. I got it in email, but it's probably up on his Substack, about the evolution of coding from plugging cables in and doing physical wiring to using punch cards, to using compilers, to using IDEs, and now this next step of using agents to help us. That the key difference between an IDE and agent-oriented IDEs is review. We need to be able, we are doing less coding and more reviewing, which means the review part has to be really good. And I think there's still, we're obviously still in early days, but Windsurf is better. So I'd like to use it today. Other things, commit rules. Arlo's commit notation, Cursor was able to figure it out. So that's cool. And bounding AI, that is limiting, putting a fence around AI with XP steps, is working great. And this is actually, I'm working now on a workshop about, well, it's about using test-driven development, but it's selling it to people who want to use AI better. And this is all coming out of our streams together, so I appreciate your participation with me. We are working on multiple rounds of Mastermind, drawing the empty guesses, come down through the work in progress orange boxes. We want to show 10 empty rounds. We moved creation of a single round into rounds now. Here's a question. Shouldn't a round manage its own, have a sense of its own number? Maybe, maybe not. There are a few more things. Yeah, more like, in a way, AI might boost, oh, you mean AI might boost TDD into the general populace. Yes. Yes. I think other people are starting to say this. I feel it. It could be a time for a revival of extreme programming, which would be fantastic. Why am I blanking on his name? I see his face. One of the extreme programming OGs, Ron Jeffries. Ron wrote a cautionary blog post about how working with agentic AI is not the same as pairing. This is very important. The key difference is that the AI wants to agree with you. It desperately wants to agree with you. And that is not how good pairing works. We need multiple mindsets. So bear in mind that I think extreme programming, I think we can give extreme programming a boost, but it's not like AI replaces this or that. They fit together. If everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon, and it is helping me at work, let's make it effective. We are working on multiple rounds. There's a question of what round are we on? Up to 10 rounds. We need to draw them all. So let's go. Actually, before we go and let me give it a run. Let me give it a quick run. And it's just quicker to do it here. Here's one round. Nothing fancy. Doot, 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 doot. 2 in the right place. That's the feedback. So, windsurf. One thing that I want to do is move the cursor rules, maybe not have so many of them, into windsurf where it can find them. I don't think this stuff about application stack is that useful. I'm finding myself skeptical about having vast rules when it can just nowadays, like in the last few months, it can just start reading the project and look at the surrounding context to see how things are written, what language you're using, what style. It can pick these things up. So I think I'm going to leave some of these in place, but let's move. Definitely Kent's rules are helpful. Also, the commit rules are working. So let's move those two. Why don't we have it do it for us, maybe? Let's move some cursor rules to windsurf, but not all. Let's see what it says. It even knows to find the right MDC extension for Markdown cursor. So wouldn't it be faster if I just did it myself? Except it needs to have some renaming. It probably needs some changes in this meta information. Wait. Which rules are you doing? Keep in cursor. Move to windsurf. Nope. Skip that. Let's stop it and say keep everything in cursor except TDD Kent Beck and commit messages Arlo Belshi. Move those to only. Hello, first time chatter. Is it, I can't tell if that's a I. I assume it's an I, not a, or it might be a lowercase l. Yoseth or Loseth. But welcome. Good to have you. I'm really confused. Loseth. I'm really confused by OpenAI buying windsurf. I wasn't aware of that, even. I don't even know who the players are. Wow, that's really weird. Hmm. Okay, let's see. So now it's asking me to basically to do something external. And there's a thing, I think there's a setting. Yeah, you can just say, go for it. Just do everything. But for now, let's stick with manual. Will it do it right? I don't know. It's moved them in, but it's kept them as MDC. That seems wrong. And it's copied them. Okay, that's not bad. I don't mind copies. Should the extension change from MDC, or is it okay? What about that one question at a time? Okay, so it didn't know to do that. That's better. That seems like a good step. Oh, I should have said commit and push. That is not using Arlo's commit notation. That's, I wonder if I need to stop Windsurf to have it pick up the rules. Because it was very happy. Cursor was happy once once it learned the rules. Let's see if how it does. It's learning, it's learning, it's learning. And there we go. But no, that's fine. Just do it. Yes, push. This is where it'd be faster if I just said get push, but I think it's good that it knows some of the balance. I'm finding I do when I say I want to do it. I want to do this bit myself, and I'll go off and do it. Sometimes in Xcode, fairly often in Xcode. I'll do whatever I want to do and then commit, and I'll say, okay, AI, whatever you are, read my commit just to keep it up to date. Otherwise, I'm afraid that it will lose context. Other changes I'd like to make are these. Now that the meta information has changed, there's a question of when to activate this. Always. This one, TDD always on. Commit messages, however, can be the model's decision of when to apply them, when to look at them. And this I'm okay just committing right away. I was just curious to see the actual meta information it uses. Okay. So this is an environment change. Set windsurf rules triggers. Okay. With that, I don't quite trust it. I think I'm going to close it and reopen. Maybe in a new conversation now. Yeah, that's done. We don't need that context. Close this. Now, I'm bouncing around, going wild between different editors here. But now, this is what we want to work on. So let's put that in play. Set up 10 rounds in the game. There's our number of rounds right now. 10 it is. What will it do? I don't know. Well, it seems to be successfully running with 10 rounds, but it's not showing them. That is, we could set up the game. This is the composition root here in main. The app, rather. This is the main app. Oh, right there. Main. So that's a safe thing to do. Oh, let me make sure that in Xcode at least, I have commit and push set up. Okay. So I'm doing half TCR. Let's not revert on failure. Let's turn that off. Half TCR, accelerated TDD by doing a commit and push. Set number of rounds to 10. And that does the commit and push. Do you need to make windsurf show the icon? Oh! Good idea. This is the Llewellyn-Falco's context window trick. Let's see. Like, windsurf has these other things. I think maybe it was Cursor added a new feature showing what percentage how full your context window was, and that's really helpful, and I hope we start to see that from more AI makers. Windsurf has this thing, create a snapshot, and I think that is a way to say, let's condense everything down to continue this with less, basically reduce the context and start in a new conversation. But for now, let's go. Yeah, thank you. I'll set up the emoji when we have something for it to do. So that committed. Meanwhile, in the game screen, here's our rounds displayed here. For each 0 to 0. Well, let's just try something just for fun. This should be number of rounds. I just want to see what it does. So this is not TDD. Oh, look at that. Oh, but they're going the wrong way. We want round 1 down here, and we want them moving up. But look at how pretty that is. Let's try. Hey, it's staying inside of round 1. And feedback in round 1. Woo! Okay, so this is promising. We want it to go backwards. Let's now start TDDing this thing. So reset. Well, again, I just want to start doing it myself, but let's see what it does. Let's give it a little bit. Will it need any context? Let's start prefix every reply to me with traffic light emoji. Let's see what it does. There it goes. Is there a way to rename these? It's oh weird. I can go back and yeah, I can change the previous prompt and to have it just like redo. What's this? I see. So this is the free model we're using. At work, I'm using this. I don't want to pay for that. What's this? What's this? Got any votes on these? I've never heard of this. I assume that this stands for Software Engineer 1, like junior programmer. I don't know what. Well, GPT-5, low reasoning. Claude, I don't want to pay for yet. Gemini 2.5 Pro. Anyway, I'll stick with that for now. Let's start TDD. I want, okay, what do we want? The number of rounds going backwards. So in the test, we don't need 10 rounds. We just need maybe 2. Let's take a quick look at the test. Game screen tests. Passing in a game. Where's the game come from? Make game. There's the number of rounds. I just want to become familiar with what to do. We also have in our not feedback view, no, the round view. No, it's not the round view. Sorry. I'll show you what I'm thinking. These, I believe, go backwards. So that bottom up. What are these? The code choices. Code choices view. Last to first. So it needs to do something like that. And that's in game screen. Okay. I just want to prompt it a little bit. Goal. Many rounds in game screen. Rounds from rounds reversed. So they show top down 10, 9, 8 down to 1. Similar to, I want to give it some clues here. For test, use let's see what it does. Now I'm expecting it to start doing test-driven development by writing a failing test. But first it's going to go off and do some reading. Let's create a test to verify that the game screen displays the correct number of rounds in reverse order. First, I'll check the game model to understand how rounds are managed, so that's promising. Check this, check that, check this. Let's create a test. Uh-oh. There it goes. All right, now we'll start to see some of the power of this, maybe. This is the code review, what it looks like in Windsurf, that it's like, you know, do you accept the whole file? This is made only a change in a single file, the tests, that's good. It would let us go like previous file, next file, previous file, next file, go through each edit, up, down. So this is good. Make game. Okay, this is really gross code. Let's see where make game is used. Make game is already in place. We have setup and it's starting to bite us a little maybe. So this is not correct. Or not what I want, anyway. Number of rounds, int 1. Well, that's pretty good. Well, the test can't be private. The helpers should be private. Well, before I get carried away in details, should show 2 rounds in reverse order. 1, 0. This test looks bogus to me. First, it's a loop. That's not great. And this is something I find LLMs often want to write test code as I see real humans want to write test code, which is they know how to write complex domain code. And so they think tests need to be the same. It should have conditionals. It should have loops. And I'm like, no and no. But this is not a test that they are shown in reverse order. In fact, I don't know if there's a way to test that. An easy way to say this is above that. Let's take a look at the code choices view, which go backwards. Inside game screen tests. Oh, in reverse order. Oh, well, okay. Wait, no, this is the new test. This may not be something that we test. This may be something we have to verify manually, because it doesn't help to have it say, can it find round this and that? Yes, it can. It says that says nothing about them being in reverse order. So I think I'm going to reject this. Yeah, let's reject this. Womp womp. Reject all. What do I want to say? Never mind reverse. Start by changing make game to, well, this is silly. It's just much faster if I do this myself. What will happen if I set number of rounds to 2? Now, another reason I want to do this here is because it's faster at running tests. This is the sad thing that blanking on his name, Mr. Test Double, as he started to explore writing iOS apps, he found what I've known, that running tests from the command line, as these as Windsurf has to do right now, because we don't have an MCP connection. That would be nice if and I think there's a thing out there to say, look, directly run a command to Xcode. Oh, but even then, it would probably still be on the command line. Command line testing is just slower. Boo! Unless you're using Swift packages, then it seems to be okay, but it's just slower. So I prefer to do it myself. Unless the LLM, okay, it passed. So I just wanted to set the number of rounds to 2 and see if any tests broke. Since they don't, and that was much faster than having it do it. Remember, we have to balance where the name of the game is speed. And if there are things that are faster for me to do, I need to do them. So I set number. I changed make game to use 2 rounds. Add a test. What is our current test for what it shows in rounds? Don't think it really has that. That's fine. Add a test that it shows 2 rounds. Now let's try again. Again, I am skeptical. Make game already is 2, has 2 rounds. Unnecessary. It loves to add these comments, and there seems to be no good way to get it to stop commenting code. Round views. Interesting. Find all. This is not what I would have done. I would rather have it, instead of just determining how many rounds are shown, I'd love to see, are we showing round 1 and round 2? And I think the round view has that in the accessibility identifier. It sure does. Why is it? Oh, it's the ID down here. It's not an accessibility identifier, but the ID ought to do. Guess. Okay. Let's refine this. Oops, wrong one. That one. Don't make game does that. Omit comments. We'll see. Don't do find all. Instead, check ID of. Check for ID of whatever it is. That's in the code guess view. That's part of the problem. What I was thinking was that, you know, this would have an ID on it, but it doesn't. It could. Or we just use the code guess view existence. Which way to go? This seems like a implementation detail. That's for testing code guess view. And the ID is not for accessibility. It is for Swift UI. Well, maybe we can start there. Let's see what it does. Here. Hello, folks who have joined. Welcome. Glad to have you. If you enjoy test-driven development, follow me. If you enjoy Swift UI, that's what we're doing. XCT assert not nil. Isn't necessary, but I'm going to, yes, guess 1 of 1, 2 of 1. I think that's correct. Now let's have it run the tests. And you can see the way it runs the test finally will be to call Xcode build. I do want it to use pipe results through XCBeautify. I think that, yeah. So I see the things are a little slower than I'm used to because I get to use Claude at work. That's okay. And now let's see what it does. Unfortunately, Xcode is primed right now for fast incremental builds. Like if I just do a command U, you know, it wouldn't rebuild anything. I forget, and this needs to be part of my streaming process, that this is starting from scratch. This is the first Xcode build it's doing, and I haven't primed it at all. So it's starting, as you can see, by getting the packages. Sorry, folks. So I'm going to have to add this to my warm-up. Why the heck would you want that? Don't. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I figured out which simulator to use. And this is where having the MCP, the Model Context Protocol, I think it is, which is the open industry standard protocol for agentic things talking to real things. That it would be nice if it could just send a command to Xcode. In fact, it would be lovely. But if Xcode itself would run the tests inside, instead of using command line stuff, I'm not holding my breath on that. I haven't tried Xcode beta. I should try that soon because it's going to be released soon, the new Xcode with its new ability to interface with actual useful AI stuff. Geesh, why? It still hasn't figured out how to run this, and this is where the MCP to say, run this on that. Can the agent use keyboard shortcuts? No. I don't think anything can use keyboard shortcuts. Okay. Has passed? No, it shouldn't pass. It should fail. Shouldn't it? What else did you change? Oh, it changed 3 files. Okay. It did not do TDD. It got ahead of itself. That said, why did it expose that? I don't know. Game rounds count. That's why. That said, it seems to work. So in the spirit of TCR, let me accept it. I want to give it a run here. Yep. Let me accept it. Or do we tame it first? You know what? Let's have it do the right thing. You are not doing TDD. I want to see a failing test before we change production code. This is where I may be feeling the weakness of using this model. The SWE1 model is that it is like a junior engineer in the sense that we say, this is what TDD is. Great, I'll do TDD, and it doesn't do it. I've also found, though, that even with the pro models, and even when you lay out Kent Beck's rules, it'll work, and then it'll lose its head. Oh, could it use AppleScript to control Xcode? Ooh. But then the problem is, how would it read the results? That's a great idea. Yeah. It's not going to fail. It's going to pass. It added all these things. It seems to be getting worse. Okay. Not liking this model. You see the power of this review thing, though. This is where Windsurf shines, I think, is having... No! revert non-production code changes. Just write a failing, and it changed the test. Thanks, Garbob. Just run the test and to watch it fail. Okay, so I'm sighing about this free model. Maybe I'll have to pay. Maybe I should try paying for a personal pro subscription. See, let's fix the game screen to show only one round as per original. Ah. It's really slow too, but that's okay. It's free, right? I don't know why it's enabling Xcode and code coverage. I only just noticed that. Ask it to let me see it fail. Write failing test and then pause for my approval. Yeah, it's not going to. Okay. Number of files is now down to 1. Let me see how this failed. I want to see the failure. Search did not find a match. All right, I'm going to edit this directly. Round. Doggone it. This is not what I wanted. The test I wanted checked. Test I want will check code guest view ID. I believe that's what it was. This is painful today, folks. Right. Test and then pause for my approval. Don't check for round 3. And it has an update. Oh, there. Yeah, it's checking that it's not there, which honestly, I don't care about. There we go. I'm gonna, whoop. I'm gonna edit it straight in here. I'm editing the diff basically. And now let me accept this. And I want to do it myself and see it fail so that I see where it fails. Because we should see guess 1, 1, but not guess 2, 1. And in fact, it shouldn't even need these variables. Find itself is an assertion. And there it looks like it did the right thing. Come on, let's clear all issues, Xcode, and show me again. Oh, result of call. Okay. I have to do it like this. There. Yeah. So they are assertions. Can it find it? I think that's part of why I like to break up when I TDD. I like to do the find first before targeting it. What is this? Oh, that's Copilot. No, 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 no. Get out of the way. Copilot, I don't want you. Phew. This was painful. I don't want to commit it. But this is where we will stop. Let me make a note so finish up. And let's finish. Hey, hey, hey. Failing test for 2 rounds. I'm going to mark this as done so that we know to continue next time. Let me make this an explicit to do. I normally don't mark TDD steps on a discovery tree, except we are not ready to commit because I don't want it to fail. Oh, whoo! What did we learn? Let's do our retro. We are at time, and what did we learn? What did we experience? First off, I'd say is not fast. Yeah, so that's a bit of pain. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy something so that we can have a better experience next time and get to feel what it's actually like. And that's part of the whole goal of this stream, is to learn together. So I'd like it to be closer to real world conditions where you're paying for your tools. What else did we learn? What did we learn from Windsurf? It's hard to say when the model is the free model isn't as good. We'll try it again with a better model, eh? Any other thoughts? I know this was a long way to come for in 1 hour. AI, it sure does. Likes to add comments in the tests. It sure does. And you might be able to get it to be quiet for a little bit, but it'll pop right back. It just loves adding comments. Part of this may be because of it was trained that way. Have you tried rule filing that out? I think I did. Let's see. Maybe not. No, I think these are Kent's rules. Let's try that next time. At least in tests. We'll try that. All right. That is a wrap for this session. Thanks for joining. Thanks especially to the regulars, but any new folks who came by, welcome. Glad to have you. For folks who are watching after the fact on YouTube, train your algorithm. If you watched this far, definitely give it a thumbs up because you watched. And I don't expect most people to watch this far, but at least you get the advantage of being able to turn up the replay speed. So, but thanks for the folks who come in real time and get the slow speed. It's good to be back, and we will come back and continue next time, next week. All right. And let me find my buttons here. We are good to go. Take care, everyone.